Hey guys, welcome. It's Erin here with the gang, and we have a special guest on this training today. And I want to do an official introduction. We're really grateful to have David Abbey here. He's the CEO and co-founder of the PennyApp, which I'm so excited to share with you. I've been using it. It's fantastic. He's also a dad of 3, and he lives, as the crow flies, pretty close to me. You just have to go over some ocean and mountains. But so he's from British Columbia. He started this PennyApp 2 years ago to solve his wife's problem. She's a consultant with another network marketing company, and he could see that she was challenged by organizing all of her names and follow-ups. And anyone here ever struggle with how to organize your life, right? Same here. So since then, they've grown to tens of thousands of consultants around the world with Rodan and Fields, and with other people using this app in their direct selling company. Last fall, he started working with Alexis. Many of you know her. She was kind of our head gal over here in Canada, and she moved on to other things. And I know he's met with Kathy Coover. We have some teams in Isagenix using this app. And so we wanted to bring it to you. I really believe I've test driven a lot of things over the last 8 years. I think this might be really a fantastic thing, and we just want to welcome David and open up your chat, guys, so we can ask questions and make this interactive. And I'm going to mute because the dogs are in here visiting now.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for having me, and super excited to be here because there is a lot of stuff that we're working on directly with your corporate team, because there's a massive opportunity to make everyone's lives just way easier when it comes to this. And when we started this project, if everyone can hit mute, just do his feedback, that'd be awesome. We started this project last November with Alexis, and for those of you who don't know, Alexis actually used to be at Rodan and Fields, and we went from basically one person at Rodan and Fields to almost our entire field using the app. And Alexis heard about it and reached out to me to say, hey, can we do this for Isagenix? And that's how this whole thing started. And we've kind of built Penny's has to be customized for each company we work with. So we've been working to customize it for Isagenix. We're kind of in this little beta test phase where we're really looking for a lot of feedback from people so we can make it even better. And what I'm going to show you today is what is kind of readily available. And I can't really hint too much about what we were looking to build, but it's amazing. I can confidently say that. So I'm going to take you through Penny today for those of you. Actually, show of hands, everyone. I can see, I guess there's 9 of us here on the call. Who has used it, or who is just kind of getting a look at it for the first time? So hands up is used it. Perfect. Okay. As I'm going through it, I mean, hit me with questions, and you can pop them in the chat, or you can also just put it directly into, just unmute yourself and ask a question. There's not a lot of people here, so we want to get the most out of it, and that way, if you ask a question, we can have a bit of a conversation around it. I'm not too fussed. And without further ado, I'll share my screen. I'm just going to move my video monitor to this side and share my screen here. 1 second. Erin, can you see my screen all right? It should just be on Penny.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. There's one thing we've been seeing, and I want to lead with this right away, because we're all in isolation. Zoom, especially for those of us who are familiar with it, such a great way for us to stay connected. But when you look at the data that's coming out of China, mobile phone usage rose 30% when they went into isolation. And what that's really saying is that people, especially those that don't have a really tight community like a team like yours, they're looking for a community. They're locked in, and there's an opportunity for especially people like yourselves that have growing businesses to really strengthen your network. We always use the term nurturing your network. So as you see on your screen, you'll have your list of tasks that Penny's created. If it's a touch point for a product order, fantastic. But if it's a task that Penny's in, there's a lot of people are just using these tasks to just start conversations with people maybe they haven't spoken to in a while. And it's an opportunity for you to just reach out, say hi, offer help, support, FaceTime, whatever that might be. And I always like to lead with that right now, because what we're seeing is the people that are doing that are actually the momentum in their business is picking up a lot, because they're just having more conversations, but they're serving their network. And just always like to say that up front. So has anyone been doing that? And just, yep.
Before we jump into the to-dos, can you just give us a little story about how this impacted your wife's business and Rodan and Fields, just to kind of paint that picture for people?
Yeah, absolutely, I can. And this is actually one of the fun things is we've been running a lot of reporting recently for multiple people. For my wife's business, what it's done for her primarily is she's still one of the top 200 sales reps every month in the company, but she's working her business far less because she's had to take a much more active role at home, because I'm now supporting tens of thousands of consultants around the world and my time is less. So she's been able to maintain her business and keep a nice steady pace so she can support me, which is it's just our roles transitioning a bit, because when she was going through her massive growth phase in her business, I was doing a lot of that at home stuff. But when we look at the large number of people, so we just ran a report. We studied 9,500 consultants, and with other companies that we work with, we can actually see the order information, and so we have a lot of sales data. 9,500 people, we tracked them 3 months before they used Penny, and then we compared them to 3 months after. Those 9,500 people collectively increased their revenue by $14 million in a 3-month period. So we're actually starting to see, it's not just, okay, it's pretty, okay, it creates tasks for me, okay, cool. It's actually proving that it's increasing the people who use it. You still got to do the work. Penny's just making it easy for you. We're increasing people's revenue. Rodan and Fields, they just did a report, their top 200 salespeople for the company, 77% of them use Penny. And then we reference them. Their sales after their first 3 months went up 77%, because you have this much work to do in the day, and this is your time frame. Penny's just going to allow you to do it in this much time. So if you still work that much more, there's just more activity going in your business, right? We always say the premise of Penny is to create inspiration in doing the tasks, or create inspiration by getting the task list, building momentum by having more conversations, and then creating belief, because your business starts moving. And when the leaders believe, the teams achieve. And when the leaders achieve, the teams believe, right? It's all about momentum and conversations. And this is what we're seeing now, because we've been in the Rodan and Fields community for almost a year. April 1st was when we released Penny for Rodan and Fields. So we're seeing now that it's actually increasing people's businesses. And it's just making your life easier. I know when I jumped on, some people were talking about at-home school lessons for their kids. Now more than ever, your days are even scattered. You might not have that structured process. And what we're seeing is people are coming to Penny doing like 5 things, closing it up, and coming back an hour later doing 3 more, closing it up. Because every time they open Penny, they're not looking for information. They're just coming in and saying, hey, I've got Tina and Nicholas here on my list. I can just do those 2 things, close it. I can come back later, pick up right where I left off. And that's where there's a lot of advantages right now, specifically with the state of the world. Does that answer your question, Erin?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Just wanted to give it some context for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, no, as someone who builds technology for a living, it's awesome to see that it's not just a pretty tool on the internet. It's actually driving revenue into people's business, which is the whole point. So, and it's making my wife's life much easier, because she can just manage her business and still be at home, because our kids are 3, 5, and 7. So there's a lot going on over there. Yeah.
There should be awards for people who are locked down with toddlers.
Thankfully, we have a backyard with a big fence. We just need the sun to come out. So that being said, I'm going to jump into it. The customer care section here is the screen you're looking at. This was where Penny started, because my wife had a massive customer base and banged her head on the desk every day trying to stay on top of who's ordering, what they ordered, when they're meant to reorder, who hasn't ordered in a while. So this is where Penny all started. And this piece in particular is the nice one, because it syncs directly with your back office, as you know, and it's creating the tasks for you. So it removes all the guesswork of what you should be focusing on and trying to keep it very relevant. Now, one of the things that we're working towards, so I'm going to use Tina as my example. She's got the auto ship coming up here on the 31st, is in your back office and in Penny, there's no order history, right? You have no idea what Tina ordered on December 3rd, and you have no idea what's in her cart on March 31st. So in the not too distant future, Penny is going to actually be able to show you what Tina ordered. So the running joke, I was in Phoenix with Travis and Kathy and Sharon, And I was like, yeah, Penny creates a task for you to do a box opening, except for you have to phone the customer and ask what's in the box. So, and they're like, yes, we know. So what we really want is to say, hey, Penny's going to say, Tina's auto ship's coming up. She has, you know, AMP, protein and nitro in there, but you know, the opportunity there is to recognize that she doesn't have any bars or any e-shots to make recommendations, so you can actually increase the cart size, increase your role as the associate. But the auto ship is, again, just a great touch point to show that you're on top of it. You are being a very active consultant for them. And Penny's just going to keep this updated for you. A few quick things about the profile in case you didn't know. Obviously, you probably found that if it's connected with Messenger, you can launch directly onto Facebook Messenger. Messenger does a great job of keeping your message history for you. If you're using the app, you can also text. If you have their email, you can email. And if you've connected their Instagram account as well, you can use your phone app to do Instagram as well. Facebook here just launches their Facebook page. What we always train is when you're about to message a customer, pop over to their Facebook, just get a quick snapshot of what's going on so you can keep that message personal. So your message and your relationship doesn't become transactional. You can keep it kind of authentic because chances are you have friends or family first, right? You can easily edit their profile. So if you know their Instagram handle, you could add it in right here. So mine's Abby Nickel. Let's just add that right in there. And when I click save, you'll notice that now Instagram has popped up. So you can start to build out these really great customer profiles. Now, if I click this little button here, it's going to open up Instagram for me. There's my page. You can see the new Penny t-shirt that we just printed. That's Punk Rock Penny. I'm just going to move this. There we go. So you can start to build out your customer profiles a little bit easier. And actually, one thing that Instagram is doing, which is really cool, is they're bringing Instagram messaging to the computer. So if you do work a lot on your computer, you can actually do Instagram messaging through your computer soon. Merging profiles, this is just connecting people between Facebook and their back office or their Instagram. And so this is all my activity. If you ever want to add a note, you just click this little button on the side, just in case you didn't see that. And the other thing that's in here I wanted to show you, obviously they're contact details, but tags. So I don't know if everyone's familiar with the concept of tags. It's basically a way to create a custom filter. So let's say Tina is on my soccer team. So I want to tag her as my soccer team. Now, if I have my whole soccer team in here, I could easily search the tag soccer team and it would pull up my list of soccer team. During this test phase, we don't automatically tag your customers with their products. So if she was on the AMP pack, I could just tag her as AMP. Or if I knew she loved e-shots, I could tag her as e-shots. Now, whenever, say, there was a campaign coming out for e-shots, I could easily search that in the search bar and find all of my e-shot customers. Does that make sense for everyone? Those that I can see on my screen are saying yes. Oh, there's the chat. It's on my other screen here. Bear with me 1 second. Yes, 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 and yes. So tag by location, I would actually recommend doing it right here under address. Is you just type in their city. So I'm in Squamish, obviously. And then when you save their address, you can search by location. So the other thing that's going to be coming, so when we do take this next phase with corporate, is you get all the product information. Penny will automatically tag all of your customers with the products they order, and you'd get their location. So you could be like, who are all my wellness pack customers that live in Vancouver? Type that in, and then you'd have that. And that's really this feature. It's called campaigns. So you'd, seasonal shakes. Who are my seasonal shake customers? Type in seasonal shake, click enter, bang, here's a full list. If you're having an event in the Comox Valley, you want all your customers and your team in Courtenay, Comox, Cumberland, Campbell River, and Parksville, you type in those cities, click enter, and you would make your list for you. So this is just something that's going to come in this next big phase. Oh, yes, I know my island geography. My brother lives in Cumberland. My other brother's in Campbell River. And we have a lot of friends in Comox, Courtenay. Actually, I'm not sure, but Darcy and Ali Lang are in Comox. I don't know if you know them or not. So there we go. Oh, I don't want to delete her. There we go. So that was the profile I just showed you. And the profile is the same for everybody. So no matter where you are in Penny, when you click open someone's profile, you can always add, edit, merge, tag, view their history, add notes. And that all works the exact same on the mobile device. The only difference is to open up that menu of editing is just the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. So I've done the profile. Before I jump on to basically what's called the customer care cycle and how Penny actually creates the tasks for you, I want to pause for a second, just make sure there's no questions.
No questions.
Not all
I have a Robin has a question. Can you tag downline orders or just personally enrolled?
No, you can tag downline. I will come back to that because I'll show you where you can do that over in the contact section.
Okay, Shannon Fisher, you have a question?
Hi, David. We've been trying to connect forever. I apologize. So great to
have you. No worries
at
all.
Pardon?
I said, no problem at all.
Quick question. I don't know if it's been covered, but I downloaded Penny. Have you guys been able to figure out a way to convert main centers and reentries together? Like that might be or is that a next step?
That's something we have to do with Gary, and
Okay.
we talked about it very loose or lightly with the IT team, so that we can see it, but we need them to connect it.
To connect it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's part of the project.
Have 2 Penny apps then? Like, can I have?
Yes. The only thing you'd have to do is, Shannon Fisher Gmail, and you just need 2 emails because you need 2 Penny accounts. But you could connect Center 1 and Center 2. Absolutely. The evolution of Penny is you'll log in and you'll have access to everything.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, keep going. That was just like, that's been my biggest thing. I'm like, which freaking center?
No. Janie Snellgrove has been monumental in getting us to where we are with Isagenix. And that was her first question. And then Tanya Kirkpatrick has actually become a friend and she's in the same boat. So yeah, we're very aware. Yeah,
perfect. I just got off the phone with Jamie, so I'll keep going. This is great. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so there we are. So we've got the profile, we've covered the centers. The customer care cycle. Now, this is the piece that's kind of like it just removes all the guesswork for you of where your customers are in the order process. And the way the customer care cycle works, think about it as just an endless loop, and your customers go in the care cycle, and the goal is that they never fall through the cracks, right? That's the biggest thing. It's the products speak for themselves, right? And you want them to have a good product, brand, and customer experience. Those 3 things are what's going to create your loyalty. Nike, Lululemon, Herschel, and even anyone that has a good customer, brand, and product experience wins. So the customer care cycle is designed so each of you can have that. This list down the side is all the tasks that Penny's creating for you. So the auto ship reminder is pretty self-explanatory. This is going to happen 5 days before the order is set to process. The goal here is just to send a message. Hey, your auto ship's coming up. How are you, by the way? Have the kids driven you crazy? Anything you do for learning or education or activities? Like, who knows what that is? The box opening task, this one gets created 3 days after their order. And of course, the goal here is to connect with your new customer, walk through their box. Of course, you got to find out what it is. And I always say this is such a great opportunity to share your knowledge, to be the subject matter expert. Tips and tricks. Like my first cleanse day when I did this, I was dying. Thankfully, Sandra, who got me set up, was able to give me some tips and tricks of what I can and can't do to make it through my day. The first check-in, this is right now just one task that's created 15 days after the order. This is changing in the near future. So the first check-ins becomes a series of tasks, and I think it's going to be something like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 15. So a lot of touch points in the first month so that you can get them really set up and successful to get through their first cleanse day, maybe their second, and they're successful, right? So that's going to change a little bit. And then these ones here, check-in, Connect 25, Connect 45. These are all designed for your, I guess they're like customers that aren't on an auto ship. But say I'm your customer, I haven't ordered in 4 months, and all of a sudden I just come back and order. There's no way for you really to know that except for digging all the way through your tree. So Penny creates a check-in for you to check in with your customer that just ordered. It's a great opportunity to find out how they're doing. Maybe their goals changed. Maybe they hadn't ordered in a while, but for some reason they did. You should really know why. The Connect 25 is a task for someone who ordered 25 days ago. So I always just say, connect with your customer that ordered 25 days ago. So you can see here, Gianni ordered 25 days ago, but they don't have an auto ship. So if it's a 30-day cycle, 25 days is kind of that optimal time to say, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling, really? If they don't reorder, they get a Connect 45, which is right here, Kelly and Kirk. So they ordered 45 days ago, but they don't have an auto ship again. So where it will become advantageous is you can click on Kirk and you can see what he ordered. So that's coming soon. And then lastly, the Reconnects. These are big ones. These are your customers that placed an order between 3 and 12 months ago and did not reorder. So in my example here, you can see I've got not too many. Now I've been on Zooms with associates and they've, it's a one-on-one and they're like, hold on just one second. And they clicked on someone's name and they opened up Messenger and they sent them a voice note like right away, like, hey, Davina, I'm just going through my list. I see you haven't ordered in a while. I wanted to check in with you, see where your health goals are at. And this one girl, Bethany, went through 52 reconnects and she had about 10 people reorder that night. And she's just like, wow, because these people would have totally fallen through the cracks. And it's such a great opportunity for you to come back and just, it's not that you don't want to give them a great experience, it's that you might just not have the tools or the time to do it. And it's simple as that. And every other business we work with, the reconnects are huge for them because it's a great way just to stay on top of it without, spinning all your tires trying to find out who these people are. And that's the customer care cycle. Now, if you're coming in here, you want to learn a little bit more, or you have a question, I always just show you this little button right here is chat support. So this is going to go through to Melissa. You just click start a new conversation. Melissa, I'm stuck on doing something. Or there's this help center right here. This is all of our articles. And once we release this next big version with Isagenix, there will be a whole whackload of tutorial videos and updated things because there's some extra features that are going to be coming as well.
I want to say that the tutorials are great. Like the articles are really good too. And Wendy Dodds had a question. Wendy asked, they go into the reconnect field after how long of being inactive?
Yeah, it's based on their last order date. So 3 months, so 90 days, between 90 and 365, because we only go back right now 12 months. So that 3 to 12 month range is when we'll drop someone in there to say, hey, this person, you should reconnect with them.
And this is the time where people can reach out and say, hey, look, things are really crazy right now. How are you and your family doing? What's going on with you? And then
that is a great list of people that you could just not even talk about the products, just see how they're doing. Like that's a really great opportunity, given just where we're all at. And
you can go through as many as you want. And how are you? And we have a self-care challenge that just started. So look, and most people, like if they're struggling, then you can invite them like, hey, look, I don't know if you're open, but we're doing our self-care challenge. There you go.
Yeah. And this is a big one, and where we're going to go in the near term, and I spoke a bit with the ETL on this one, or ELT, is running specific campaigns that target this group, and they'll actually show up directly in Penny with a customized list with a special offer to support you to bring them back as well. So this is somewhere where Penny and your corporate team wants to use this information to actively re-engage this customer segment. So that's customer care.
It's more like a win-back strategy. Is that what they're looking at doing?
Yeah, they would use that piece specifically. You can see it on my sidebar here. It says campaigns. This is something that's it's not available to Isagenix yet because it's campaigns is driven off of order information and products. So with Rodan and Fields, we did a massive product launch where it's like, okay, who are my that's called Radiant Defense customers, because they're going to want this new product. So I instantly get a list of all my seasonal shake customers. Who do I want to talk to? So that's how that one works. I'm going to change gears though and go over to the prospecting section. So kind of what I said in the very beginning, right now is such a great time to just engage with people to see how they are. We're seeing a lot of people use the recommended prospects, like the new conversations that Penny's creating every day, just to start conversations and see how people are. Changing the gears a little bit to tell you how this feature works. So when you sync Facebook and Instagram, if you haven't done this already, there's these two little buttons on the side. You have to use your computer, desktop or PC, and you have to use Google Chrome to sync with Facebook and Instagram. That's just a limitation that Google puts on us. Google Chrome is this one right here. just in case you've never seen what it looks like. And the way this works, it basically creates a bridge between Facebook and Penny. I click sync, and then I can just click sync Facebook. What it does basically, it goes through and gets all your friends' photos and their names. It just, again, reduces the amount of time that you spend uploading and adding contacts. But one thing that Janie Snellgrove actually said, and is one of the funniest things I've heard, she goes, what I love about this feature is it's recommending people for you to talk to, but you're just not getting lost in the scroll hole. Who should I talk to? And you just get scrolling, and then you get this squirrel, and then you go down a rabbit hole and you're totally off track. You just burn 20 minutes and you've done nothing. So the goal here is just to prompt you to have conversations. And what Penny does, when you sync Facebook, we have an algorithm that goes in and looks at basically your social network and uses a few things, but the two biggest ones is it looks at your contacts' names, and then it matches them up, is Sarah a girl or boy, and fills your funnel with predominantly women. Now, I think Isagenix's male to female ratio is 94% female. So Penny fills your funnel with 94% females. So just better people to talk to. And we've seen this feature in particular increase, when we release this, we increase the number of people in the funnels by 84%. And since August, we've been tracking new consultants that use Penny since day one, and they hit their first rank advancement 25% faster than people that don't, because they're simply coming in here and having more conversations because Penny's doing the work for you. It's a pretty simple process. So that said, you come in here, let's say Amber's one of the people I was recommended to reach out to. Again, I can open her profile. I can send her a message on Messenger. If she's a new prospect, I'm probably gonna wanna jump over to Facebook, quickly catch up with her life, and then send her a message. Here, you can send to the messenger. This hot prospect button, this is an important one. So we always teach people as you're going through and you have a really great conversation, tag them as a hot prospect, because if there's a promotion, an event, something special going on, you want to know who your hot list is, this little button right here, it says hot prospects. If I click this, here's my list of hot prospects. So if I'm being meaningful with my time, these are the people I want to talk to. And I can just close that. Other quick things here. If you give them a sample, you can mark that right here. If Amber's in Mexico right now, you can reschedule this just by clicking the reschedule button and picking a date. And of course, when you do reach out to her, say, okay, I sent her a message today. I'm completing that. I want to follow up next week. Family's good. Husband is working a ton right now. So now when I follow up next week, I know what I talked about, and maybe I want to tag her as soccer team, right? So there you go, I can save that.
Patty, this is awesome. Patty's got a great question. Is there a way to edit the percentage of male to female? Because Patty's one of our males, and he brings in a lot of men.
Fair,
fitness.
fair.
And then Shannon has a question about, does it filter out other Isagenix associates?
So I'll answer the Patty question first. Not at this time, because we took that number from Alexis, and it's actually run against everybody. So we can't change it just yet. But what you can do is you can go into your contacts section, and I'll show you this after, Patty, is you can just add more guys manually to your funnel if you want. And sorry, the second question was?
Filtering out Isagenix associates. Does it
yes,
do that?
It does. So the way it works is if Penny knows that Aaron is a associate and uses Penny, if Shannon signed up and was friends with Aaron, Penny would automatically remove Shannon from the prospects bar. So the more and more people that use Penny, the more and more associates that use Penny, the smarter she becomes, and she actually starts to curate your recommended list. So if I click on contacts here, and I go to another line, you can see all of these people use Penny, and I'm friends with them on Facebook, and Penny's automatically tagged them as an associate for me. So if Shannon and I were friends tomorrow, she signed up, she would be put in here. And Aaron, I don't think we're friends either. So everyone gets automatically just put in here, and it really helps clean it up so you're not prospecting other associates. And it also does another person's customer. So these are all, Bradley Cooper and Barack Obama are obviously not other people's customers. But if Aaron and I were mutual friends with Shannon, and she was Shannon, you were Aaron's customer, you would be put in here instead of being in my prospects bar. So it does that as well.
And everyone can note that a lot of those top people right now are using Penny. The leaders in action.
Mm-hmm. This is my wife, so she's not a customer, but these are all, I just put all these people in here. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson's not a customer either, but these are just an example of how this works. So when you actually have 25,000 Isagenix associates using this, it's going to organize everything for you and make it really easy. So your recommended prospects are actually people you should be talking to. And that's prospecting. I'll show you campaigns quickly. Even though you won't be able to use it, this is just an example. I built this actually specifically to show Kathy and Travis. A campaign is basically a custom list. It's the easiest way, but it's made off of any sort of product information. So the example I gave was seasonal shake. Seasonal shake. So they come out with a new promotion. Let's just say it ends tomorrow. It's for my personally enrolled customers. Now you'll notice this little bar right here, active and inactive. So if you wanted to find a list of all your inactive customers that previously ordered a product, you can come in here. Or if you want to find a list of all your inactive customers who haven't ordered in a year, you can come in here and get just that custom list and then actually start to focus on it. And then you come in here, you type in, include people who have purchased these products. I would type in seasonal, oh, not right here, sorry. Seasonal shake. And there's a list of 11 people that would be included. I click save, and Penny pulls up my list of seasonal shake customers. And you can do the same with geography. And you can also do, I want to know all of my customers who have ordered Ionic Supreme but have never ordered Dia, and then create that list. And then Penny would create that list for you. And where we're working with corporate directly on this is when they do a corporate special, Penny will actually pre-create your list for you and just send you the list and say, here's all your seasonal shake customers. There you go. So we're going to also work with them on messaging and content that you can share. And if anyone's ever used the app called Hit 'em Up, it's basically multi-messaging. We're releasing our own version of that in about 2 or 3 weeks. So you'd create your list of seasonal shake customers. You'd pick your message from your content library that's coming out, and then you'd click send, and then it would just fire off those messages for you. So all of that work would be done in about a minute.
OMG, this is so good. Can everyone just write in the chat some love to David? Like, did everyone's marriage just get better? And like, are you a better parent all of a sudden? This is, all the spouses will be thanking you and friends. I noticed that's there. Yeah. Oh, and truly that it was designed by a partner of someone in network marketing, right? Because you saw the problem and you solved it. It's like so brilliant. Now, reaching out to your downline, if I had a leader that brought in a ton of people and they're no longer building, and we have a bit of a mature team here, and that's a reality for a lot of us, can we reach out to someone's people who is in our downline, not our personal?
Yeah, so what is coming, we've done 2 things here. So one is there's a team feature that's coming. It's called Team Care that will kind of manage all that for you. And actually, one of the cooler things for Team Care, and Shannon and Aaron, you'll probably like this the most, is it's not just a list of who's on your team, and it's not just a list of who has the highest sales today. Penny actually does trending analysis over a period of time. So Penny might actually see that Robin, over the last 3 months, has gone from like 500 BV to 600 BV to 800 BV to 900 BV, and she is crushing it. And Penny's going to actually surface that for you and say that Robin is trending super positively. Or inversely, David might have gone from 800 to 700 to 600 to 500. So Penny wants to show you that people are declining in your business because that would impact your revenue. And in that feature would give you all the capabilities to reach out and create tasks for your team. And there'll be a team care cycle as well to make sure that Penny's obviously creating tasks for you to touch base with your team. And then there's another feature that we're building that we went through with your team down in Phoenix. It's called Orphan and Adoption. So if I was your PE4 and the 2 people above me are no longer in the business, Penny would be like, David's all by himself and he's still ordering. Do you want to adopt him? You click yes. And then he gets added to your customer care cycle or your team care cycle so that you can then work with him, because I'm the highest, if I was a customer, I'm the highest likelihood to become an associate. And right now I'm an orphan and I'm all by myself, but yet I'm still ordering. So you can obviously do that. So yeah, Shannon's excited. So that's the orphan and adoption piece. And we saw that the first time we looked at your back office. We're like, oh dear. because you just got plus buttons for days, right? So Penny will actually search your office for you and say like, oh, here's someone over here, bring them up.
But it goes to the next active leader, right?
Active leader, yes.
Yeah. And then Wendy Proya asked, and this is a good question too, like we have people that will be sitting on thousands of dollars of cycles because they're holding volume. Not so much
that'll
anymore.
come up as well.
Yeah, that'll come up.
Yeah, I keep looking to see if I'm holding volume in my account, but I'm not. I also have because when we set this all up, our whole team started using Isagenix. Pretty funny. I've got my accelerators right here on my desk, and I had my shake right before I go. But yeah, the whole goal of Penny is, ever since day one, and that's why her name is Penny, is she's a person. Imagine she is your personal assistant. She sits next to you in a chair, and she hands you the things that make your business actionable, right? Because you can go into the back office and you can dig for days to try to find what you should do. But the whole purpose of Penny is that she does all that heavy lifting, and she just tells you what to do. So you come in, whether you're a brand new associate or an 18-star platinum, what job is Penny going to do for you? And Penny's job will be different for each person. As she gets smarter and as we go deeper and deeper into the company, that's what her whole person is, and that's Penny. So there you go. And did any questions pop up there while we were talking? Wendy, import your Facebook. Caroline Rodriguez. Hey, Caroline. How deep can Penny go? Very deep. Yes. Okay. So I'm jumping over to the daily now. So the daily is your home screen, whether you're on the app or whether you're in the computer. And what the daily does is it goes and actually curates a smaller selection of tasks for you so you can focus in a smaller amount of time. And you can see I've got my seasonal shake campaign right here. But then I've got 3 follow-ups, 4 reach outs, 2 reconnects. But you guys saw that I had maybe 15 or 20. But the idea here is if you only have a minimal amount of time, you can come in and focus on 2 reconnects. So my kids are at home, it's chaotic. I got them coloring for 20 minutes. I've got time to reconnect with 2 customers. That's not overwhelming for me. I can do that. In the near future, there's actually going to be a content library where you can pull out reconnect language, right? A script, and then you can just send it. And again, making just more efficiency in your business. Now, if your kids are napping, or maybe they went outside and playing and you want to do a bit more, you can crank it up. Now you can see Penny's increased the amount of activity on my list for me, so I can do a little bit more. And again, this is allowing people to work within their own capabilities and time, given the level they're at, everything in between. But for the new people who only have a small customer base and they're getting started, this just takes out all the guesswork of what they should be doing, right? It's just like, this is what we should do. And then of course, Freight Train over here, this is all the tasks I have. Now, we've seen people use this, we've seen people crank it up. We've also seen people just do the easy does it setting, but they do it 6 days a week. Everyone's business, depending on how you work, just picks up their own pace. This just adds a bit of flexibility. You can come in here, let's, my one reconnect, or my one connect 25, Gianni here, ordered, a while ago. This is all fake data, that's why the dates are off. I can pop over to her Instagram, I can catch up on Facebook, I can send her a message, and I can complete it and add some notes. And if you've never seen Woohoo Dude, this is the guy, when you get to your activity, he's here to cheer you on. But now I've done my connects for the day, I'm gonna go back, and you can see I've done a few things. Now I can go to that next task. And here's the seasonal shake people. I just showed you this list. So it all comes forward. And that's what I wanted to show you.
David, I have a question. So one of the things I found, I have my phone in hand and I'm on a desktop, and then it says, Shannon. So I just boom, Shannon, da 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 da, and I boom, this person, da da. And I found it was a little bit faster to transition to but I would check that I did it, but I would use my phone to reach out to the person or text them. Is that okay to do, or? Oh
yeah, absolutely. Here, I'll pop my phone up on the computer screen here. 1 second.
So I just found it efficient, like having the desktop open and then boom, because there's just that 3 seconds longer for Penny to pull up the Facebook,
Absolutely. So if I go to my phone.
Who's loving this? And feel free to jump out. Carolyn, you're unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just jumped on, so I'm trying to catch up. So I just had to do I had to do one of my follow-up calls. So I'll listen to the recording. Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Caroline.
You too, David.
Glad that everything's working for you. So you were another person that had the multiple centers, and the really big centers and Penny don't get along too well because they're so big, which is one of the big problems that we're solving with IT directly.
Thank you.
Because when we actually get the pipeline from the back office instead of the the handout, it'll be a lot better. But Chris, I think, is actually meeting with some of the team tomorrow or the next day to start actually figuring out what that all looks like.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that.
So 2 things I'll show you. This is my mobile phone that just popped up on the screen here. If you're on the app, let's just say I'm going to go into my auto ship reminders here. So I tapped on that, right? This is the same 2 people I had on my screen. If I slide it to the one side, that's where I got my different messaging options. So I only have SMS and Messenger for Tina. Or if I go, I only have SMS and email for Nicholas. And then of course, once I message them, I can just complete that just by sliding it to the other side. What I was looking for is someone who had Instagram. So let's see if my reach out's here. Brad Smith. I slide that to the side. You can see that I have Instagram for Brad because I have that Instagram icon. So whatever messaging channels are there is your option. So there's Amy. I'm connected with Amy on Messenger and Instagram. And you can always add other channels. If you want to add someone from Instagram, so let's go hit prospecting. And this little plus button up in the top right-hand corner, I'm gonna hit plus. Here it says add a prospect from Instagram from your phone. So that's just like if I wanted to add Aaron's number. I can input someone manually, or I can sync my entire phone book down to the bottom. If I want to do Instagram and any volunteers to give me an Instagram handle? Don't all go at once.
Yeah, KN.Garrett.
You cut out there. KN dot. Oh, there's one.
Garrett.
Shannon dot A dot Fisher. So I was at an event, I was at the park, I was at the gym. Well, you weren't at any of those places because we're all on quarantine. But if you weren't, this is what you would do. So you come in, type in her name, click next. Penny's going to search Instagram. There she is right there. I'm going to schedule a reach out. And I'm going to do this, let's just say today. And if I wait a second, it takes a second for you to load. And I did the same thing with Eric here when I was on the phone with him. As you can see, I added Eric there as well. So then you just add them and then you can message them. So that's just how you use Instagram on the mobile phone. So let's go to Eric, slide that over, click Instagram, pops open Eric's page. I can see his last few posts. I can follow him, I can message him, and that's all there for you. And back to Penny. Oh, that's my wife and my daughter doing yoga at home. Good to see they're staying active. And that's the app. And I'm going to stop my share.
David?
Yes.
Because when you when you first do that initial upload of contacts from Instagram and or Facebook, which way you prefer, will it automatically sync as your numbers grow? Let's say in Instagram, like if your followers start to grow, can you just go back and repopulate it?
So that doesn't do real-time updates or real-time syncing, but you can come back in here.
Oh, there it is.
Sync Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can do this. Most people do about once a week.
Sure.
Unless you're out and you connect someone new. So I'll just click sync Instagram. It's going to pop over to my page and retrieve my new contacts for me. It doesn't duplicate and it doesn't erase. So it'll only add new people to my Penny account for me. And same with Facebook. So it'll help it out. And the other thing Penny does here is if in between yesterday and today, more associates signed up, Penny would actually go through every night and scrub your list of contacts against new associates that signed up and help you organize your contacts continually for you. especially for the leaders that have been in the business for a long time, like Caroline, like a lot of your friends on Facebook, by just sheer nature of the business, are going to be pulled in. So this is where in the beginning, where there's only, you know, a handful of people using Penny, it can be an onerous process sorting out your contacts. When we flip the switch and everybody signs up, Penny sorts it all for you.
So can I ask a question on that?
Of course.
So, yeah, I'm in that odd boat, and I don't know if this is a silly question because I don't quite understand all the technologies, still learning it. Because my reach outs are bringing me all Isagenix people in my team and other teams. So do I have to go on my phone and like clear all these Isagenix people off? Like how I don't know how to do that. That's my stumbling block right now.
For leaders like yourself, it is obviously less advantageous because you have so many friends. So Ben Hartley is actually my little brother. Let's say he's in Caroline's downline. So I click on this X here, which pops up when you go over it. And it'll say, why are you removing Ben? Because he's an associate. And is he in my downline? Is he in my upline? Or is he in another line? So I click another line. Now, if any of you were friends with Ben tonight, he would be tagged as another line automatically. So that's how we can self-select. So if Aaron's friends with Shannon and Patty signed up, then Shannon would automatically be tagged. It just helps, instead of all of you having to categorize everyone, Penny just helps you categorize as more and more people use the system.
So I have to go in and do that work.
Yes, or the suggestion for someone like you, I would just wait and let everybody else do it for you. It'll just automatically happen. That's the easiest thing. With people in your position, Rodan and Fields was the same. Like Romy has 90,000 people on her team, and she's like, whoa, David. And I was like, give it about a month. And she did. And then all of her team was categorized. She's like, oh, well, that was easy.
Yeah, because things are coming in like people, it's showing me people from other lines are actually my people, and that's not happy. So maybe you and I should go through it and talk after. I don't want to take up too much time here.
Yeah, let's just find a time you and I can jump on a Zoom together. That's no problem. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so.
Thank you.
And I have a quick question too.
Yeah, go for it.
When I set it all up in the beginning, of course, I went into my back office. It was all great. It downloaded up all my team and whatever. And now I just wanted to resync it just to update the people that we just put into our team. Mm-hmm. And it's giving me an error message.
Oh, because if you try to resync when you're already synced, because it syncs every day. So if you try to resync when you're already synced, it will give you an error message. But unless I can take a look, but send me a message through the chat, but you should be totally fine. I can actually, your name is Mackenzie, right?
No, it's Rhonda. Mackenzie's here too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, chances are we notice that happens because the way Penny works is it updates every 12 to 18 hours. And if you're already connected and you try again, it confuses her. Whereas when we move to the new system, it'll just do it in real time for you and it'll never be a problem.
Yeah, I think I got the same one about updating, unable to update your Isagenix back office account. I think that's just because it probably.
Yeah. You Rhonda Sampson? Yeah, you're connected. It's fine.
Okay, everything's good. All right. Thank you.
There you go. No problem.
So good.
Yeah.
So just ignore that if there's an unable to update. That just means it was already updated.
Mm-hmm. Sue, great question. Currently free, working with Isagenix on that right now. So can't say one way or another just yet. But I'm working on it.
So we're getting all hooked on it and we'll all have to buy it.
I can't say anything. I signed my life away.
Awesome. This is wonderful. Thank you.
David,
yes.
I can't get my team. So when I launched it, I don't know if I actually picked Isagenix and then did the next thing, but now it's not letting me upload anything. Is there a tutorial where I can go and
yeah. Yeah. Let's, Shannon
Offline?
at 5fishleadership.com.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email and we'll just jump online together.
Sound good. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. That's an easy fix though. I can actually tell you right now that it's just not connected to Isagenix as a partner. So we'll fix that up for you. No problem at all. Yeah, so anyone else who does have technical issues or questions, I always recommend this is little blue button. And starting a new conversation is the best place for you to get help. Melissa can look into your account specifically directly from there. And then she also has access to our back office and she can do anything she needs to. And generally speaking, we guys get you fixed up as quickly as possible. Caroline, massive leaders sometimes are a little harder and we need technical support and development efforts and other people on our team to fix these issues. But if it's just an updating issue or a Facebook sync or Instagram or a question how something works, that's the easiest place to get help. And we typically reply in under 5 minutes.
I love it. And guys, this is so great. Even if you have somebody who's brand new, it's a really great way to start them off with really great habits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the new people are a big one because we've actually seen that they do get to title faster. And in the next version of Penny that comes with corporate, it actually will have a full content library of suggested language to reach out about the business, about the products, how to start conversations, and it'll all be there for you. So the idea is getting a new person to essentially paint by numbers, right? Get Penny, sync Instagrams and Facebook, send this, say that, and Penny will actually start guiding the process. The IsaBody challenge is going to be built in here so you can actually manage your customers' IsaBody challenge from us or from our side so you know where they are in the process as well. A lot of really cool stuff like that.
Can you confirm the website that people need to go to from their desktop?
Yeah, so you can go to just to create an account, go to PennyApp.com, and this is our homepage. And you just go, I'm a consultant, or no, oh, where's the sign up? Oh, there it is right there. Sign up, and then you create your account, and then well, I'm already logged in. And then it'll ask you which company you're with, type in Isagenix, and it'll ask you then to enter your credentials for your ABO. And then with those, you'll be able to go in and start. And then it can take a bit to connect, obviously, and set everything up. You get an email from us that says, hey, you're good to go, and you're there. If you do have any connection issues, again, shoot a note through this little button here. Melissa can help you out. It is case sensitive, and some people make sure it's your back office credentials and your back office password. Some people end up confusing the two and put in their Penny credentials, and obviously it doesn't work.
Amazing. Well, this is coming up to 1 hour, so this is fantastic. So there's more to come. Guys, we want to thank David so much. Does anyone want to jump out and just say a few words, a few bits of thank you before we let him go? And this will be recorded and put into our group in the announcements.
David, I just jump out there. You know, 3 of us within this family have used this, and I will tell you that you're so quick to get back, and if there's any questions at all, we're so you're so quick that
Thank you.
That really helps, you know, alleviate some of the frustration if, you know, for something new, especially for people who are not tech savvy. So I appreciate your quickness on answering everybody, and I know you're busy, and we really appreciate it.
It would be ironic if we built an app that helps customer service and ours sucked. Right? No, customer service and support is #1 for me. It has been since day one, and it always will be going forward. That's something we kind of put the stake in the ground on that one. So we'll always do our best on that one. But we are human and things break. So thank you for working with us. And Shannon, I just sent you. I know we chatted before on Messenger. Alexis connected us before. I just sent you a friend request so that we can just chat that way.
We are friends. I just confirmed it.
Oh,
Life can go on. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Real deal.
I love it. I'd love to hear from anyone else. Who else wants to jump out and say like how they're feeling about building their business, what's going on with them? Wendy, I'd love to hear from you, Proya, and Wendy Dodds too. Wendy, jump out.
All right, calling me out. This is so awesome because I used to spend hours and hours doing this, David, manually. So, I mean, literally hours. I would comb through the tree. I would do things. And so to just to be able to even have it find the people who are holding volume. I mean, and then, the customers, and I love the fact that we will be able to see people that are not necessarily personally enrolled to us. Like if somebody's left and we can, take over some of their team and manage them and connect with them. So it's super exciting. And I did it last week, but I think it wasn't done yet. And so I was like, what's happening? But I'm going to start using it today after this overview. I'm excited. Thank you.
Perfect.
And I'll just end. We had a quick mastermind this morning and talking about reporting and diving into organization, not realizing that it had this magnitude. So I feel like this is like a huge, like timing is everything. And it was like, that call was like 4 hours ago. So this is perfect. Super excited. I think everyone's just going to have can take a deep breath, especially if life has changed a lot in the last 2 weeks. This allows people to really stay focused on building their business. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, on that note, enjoy the rest of your day as best you can. Margarita hour soon, I think, for everyone.
Yeah. Happy hour. Real quick, David, do you have teams that do like penny time, like Freight Train Fridays, and get together and do it together?
I haven't seen it with Isagenix yet, but we have seen it in some of the other ones. Woohoo Dude has this hashtag. People do it that way for sure. We haven't done it. What's going to happen, just to give everyone a little insight, is we obviously have a lot of work to do connecting all the bits and pieces from the two back from corporate and us. And then when we go roll it out to the world, right now it's obviously just a small select group. I'll be going on all the different team pages and spending a lot of time pouring into teams all around the world to make sure everybody gets up to speed. And what you have today is just a small snippet of what is actually available and what's coming. So this is just the V1. So what's coming, and I'll come back. Aaron, obviously. Shannon, Caroline, everyone, I'll come back and make sure everyone's teams are fully capable and know exactly how to use it. And then we will continually build and innovate and make it easier for you and work directly with all the key people to make it as good as possible. That's our job.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me. It was nice to meet you in person. And Shannon, of course, Caroline, nice to see you again. Glad you made it home to Canada safely.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Have a great day, David. I'll stop the recording, and guys, you can stay on for a minute.